Ms Legalista here. Welcome to the video. I hope this is going to be a video. I still have not been able to develop a better relationship with Verizon. So I don't know what this is going to look like or if this is even going to get posted. I'm using local recordings to make sure I have the best version because Verizon is just not working with me when it comes to either downloads or uploads. But here I am working through this just so I can do my video. That's all I want to do, really. I want to bring you this New York Post article about a politician down in Florida who got scammed. I keep telling you, anybody can fall for some of this stuff. It just means you really have to be careful. You really have to take your time. But let me stop talking and let me bring this up so that we can take a look at it. Like I said, he is this politician down in Florida, and obviously I didn't have this up. So give me just a second here. Talking about Verizon, and I'm not even prepared. How about that? Let's do it this way. Hannah Anderson. All right, let's New York Post. New York Post article just came out a couple of days ago. Florida politician targeted in elaborate AI car crash scam, which almost fooled his dad into forking over $35,000. So first of all, you're thinking, wow, car crash scam. Okay, somebody faking a car crash. Went after his dad. That's what I keep telling you. It's for those of you who are watching this video, I'm not as concerned about you. I'm more concerned about the people around you, especially your parents, grandparents, and then younger people who are sometimes tricked into some of these scams too. So a lot of you have been following me. It's less about you. It's more about these people that you care about. And this is what happened. So let's scroll down here. He's actually an attorney. Okay. So he's probably a little bit more enlightened about some of these scams too. Again, not him. They didn't go after him, they went after his dad. All right. It says an attorney has issued a warning over an elaborate AI voice cloning scam, which fooled his own dad into nearly handing over $35,000. He's 34 years old. His dad is 70. Okay. His dad is 70. It convinced his dad, that he had been in a serious car accident, was arrested, and that he needed bail money. Now, I've said this before. You start calling your parents are going to try to be there for you. Scammers know this. They know this. Again, that's why they're not targeting you, they're targeting the people around you. He said, let me scroll down here so we don't have to worry about all that video playing. Terrified, Frank, a retired attorney, okay, said he was convinced it was his hysterical son and had been deeply traumatized by the scam. Imagine that. You're worried because your, adult child is calling you and yeah, and only to find out the whole thing just about gave you a heart attack, sent you to the hospital, only to find out that it's only a scam. Sure, you're grateful and you're thankful, but goodness, imagine what he went through. Jay, the attorney, is running for the House of Representatives in Florida, and he thinks scammers created a fake voice from his 15-second TV campaign ad, which is what I've been saying before. They don't need a whole lot of this. So for me, they got, 1,000 videos they could pull stuff from all over the internet. But really, look at who they're targeting here. Attorney. I mean, they really checked this out, right? They decided who they were going to go after, but they think that they used a scam. So here is Jay, the person who is running for election, whose voice was scammed. Let me scroll down a little bit. It says Frank, also from Boca Raton, Florida, who was visiting his daughter in New York at the time, said, just as the Uber car arrived to take me into New York City, I got a phone call. It was my son, Jay. He was hysterical, but I knew his voice immediately. So this is the dad talking. He said he'd been in an accident, broke his nose, had 16 stitches, and was in police custody because he tested positive for alcohol after a breathalyzer. Look at how specific these people are. They have crafted a whole story here that sounds legitimate. He's got stitches, a broken nose. He's been in an accident, but now he's in custody. And it says he blamed it on the cough syrup he had taken earlier. So think about that for a second. That helps take some of the blame off of the son, because otherwise the father might feel, well, you got yourself into this mess. You know better than to drink and drive. But that was not the case. They came up with this whole elaborate scam that says, oh no, I got it drinking cough syrup. And that's what triggered the breathalyzer. And so the father feels okay about even supporting the son even more because he realizes, oh, this was something that, yeah, probably should have taken better precautions on. They've got a whole thing going on here. It says the impersonator posing as Jay pleaded with Frank not to tell anyone about the situation. Moments later, a man identifying himself as Mike Rivers, a supposed attorney, called and said Jay needed $35,000 cash bond to avoid being held in jail for several days. The scam escalated when Rivers instructed Frank to pay the bond via a cryptocurrency machine, an unconventional request that heightened Frank's suspicions. Now Frank's like, wait a second. Okay, he's a retired attorney. He's like, look, I might have been out of the game for a while, but I'm not that out of the game. It says, I became suspicious when he told me to go to a Coinbase machine at Winn-Dixie. Yeah. Okay, Frank's like, okay, this ain't adding up anymore. These are those red flags that I talk about and say, when these things start to make you feel uncomfortable, like something's fishy, go with your intuition, your gut instinct. Go with that feeling, those red flags. They are signaling you for a reason. Red flags mean stop. Stop. That's red. Stop. Frank says, I didn't understand how that was a part of the legal process. The dude's been an attorney. He's like, no. Frank eventually realized something was wrong after his daughter, Jay's twin sister, Lauren, and her friend discovered AI voice cloning scams were on the rise. They did some research. That's that other piece. So remember, we've talked about how scammers try to make you move fast, make you feel like you got to do something right then. It's an emergency situation. It's urgent. You got to send the money right now because they don't want you to do that research. They don't want you to sit down and think through those questions that you have. They don't want you to take up time to actually call the family member or call someone else to verify and to help you through this. They don't want you to do any of those things. But this is what they did. He immediately hung up the phone. He ultimately hung up the phone. He says it was devastating to get that kind of call. My son has worked so hard beside myself, thinking his career and campaign could be in ruins. It's just hard. And this, is a picture of them there. He says he speculated the scammers might have cloned his voice from a recent campaign ad, which had aired on television just days before the incident. Now, so for those of you who, are saying, hey, well, that's not going to be me. I'm not running for office. Nobody's going to find me. Yeah, they can find you. Yeah, they can find you. Don't think they can't. They're going after any and everybody. He says, I've been paying attention to AI and its effects on consumers, but nothing prepares you for when it happens to you. They did their research. This is what he's saying. They did their research. They didn't use my phone number, which fits the story that I was in jail without access to my phone. It says the scam's sophistication left Jay stunned. All it takes is a few seconds of someone's voice. You got this? So highlighting these key things again so that you understand, the impact of some of this and how a lot of times they're going after your relatives. So it's important that we make sure that we're reaching out to them to let them know, hey, here's the family code word, the secret phrase to use when you're in trouble so that I know that it's not some fakery going on, some scamster out there trying to get the money from the family. All right. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.